Alright, so I heard about the stuff that happened with Vince McMahon, and I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I'm not surprised by that stuff. I'm not surprised by it at all. I don't know why a lot of people are surprised. Like, to be real with y'all, I'm not really surprised by it. And so here's my thoughts on it, right? So you guys know, like in the 80s and stuff like that, like in the 80s and the 90s, where like cinema and stuff was becoming like a big deal, and it was actually changing the game when people was making some blockbuster movies, right? Do you guys not know like how, like, especially like a lot of like movie producers were like scumbags back then? Like, they were scumbags. Like if you were young, if you was a young attractive female and you was like trying to get on into like a blockbuster film or try to be a feature character, whatever like that, chances are they was going to put you on this thing. I forgot what it's called. I think it's called a casting couch or something like that. Something like that. I can't remember. But it's basically where they like ask you. They like, it's basically a favor for a favor. You give them sex, they give you a good position. It still happens to this day. Like, especially like with these big corporations and all these freaking conglomerate businesses and stuff like that. Yes. Like, you guys got to remember, back then they didn't have like cameras and stuff like that, and they was rich too. You know what I mean? They was rich. They can just pay people off, or they could afford good lawyers to, like, you know, make false testimonies and stuff like that back then. So you guys got to remember about that stuff. You know, like when I heard about it, I was like, you know what? I'm just not surprised by it, because I want to go make a video about it. The only reason I'm making the video is because I haven't posted nothing in a minute. You feel me? And yeah, I'm not really surprised by this at all. You know what I mean? Like, perfect example, R. Kelly, right? Because I'm gonna use this example. Like, R. Kelly, you guys heard about the freaking child sex shit allegations he got against him, all the little child porno shit he did, right? When they tried to charge him in the early 2000s or whatever like that, look what happened. Nothing happened, right? But since society is getting better at keeping people held accountable for their actions, and a lot more people is becoming more emotionally intelligent, right? Boom, you know, shit like that isn't gonna be fucking let slide. And I know he's gonna get prosecuted. They're gonna prosecute his ass, like with Bill Cosby. You feel me? Look what happened to Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby was freaking, he was sitting there freaking drugging females and stuff in the 80s and 90s, and look what happened to his ass. Look what happened to him. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm not surprised by this. You know, that's one thing I'm glad. Like, that's one thing I'm kind of glad. Like, I ain't have my parents. They never put me into like the film industry at a young age, because like a lot of people, they get like freaking exploited and stuff by these perverted ass freaking trifling movie producers, film producers, and the same thing with the music industry. Some of these rappers got sexually exploited by their record label, believe it or not. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a bunch of scummy ass people. You feel me? Like a bunch of scumbag ass, disgusting ass people. You know, because, you know, they have all that power and all that money. You know, they let it corrupt them. You know, absolute power corrupts absolute, and that's a prime example. That right there is a prime example of when power corrupts absolute. You feel me? But yeah, like, I wasn't really surprised when I heard about it, you know, because like I said, like, there's a history of people doing shit like this. It was just in the 80s and the 90s and shit. Most of that stuff was swept under the rug, because, you know, people didn't want to hear that noise back then. It wasn't that big of a deal, but it's a big of a deal now, because society is becoming more aware of all the bullshit that's going on in the world. You feel me? But yeah, like, yeah, I'm just like, I really don't have like that much to say about it, because like I said, it's like, what you feel me? Like, what else can I say about it? It's fucking, that's just how it was. And some people still keep that mindset to this damn day, because, you know, a lot of motherfuckers, they grew up with that. They kind of grew up and developed that freaking mindset. Hey, you want to do this? Oh, you want to be in this? Oh, you gotta do this for me. You gotta be like this, or you gotta do something like this if you want something in return. You know, that's just kind of how it was back then. I hate to say it, you know. I'd rather me tell you guys than have somebody else tell you guys, but, you know, that's just kind of how it was. You know, I mean, props for the person who, like, props for the person. That's if the stuff is true, which I'm pretty sure it is. But yeah, props for the people for actually standing up and actually trying to, like, not let shit like that slide, you feel me? But yeah, man, like, that's much all I gotta say about it, you know what I mean? Like, even last freaking, like, when these children begin to put in these freaking acting positions at a young age and shit, I don't like that. Me personally, I'm not gonna sit there and have my child get put on a damn movie show or whatever, TV show or whatever like that, because you never know how the freaking movie producers and shit gonna freaking treat them, you feel me? Like, it sucks. It fucking does, you know? That's like, I was glad I never, like, got exposed to that type of life. And on top of that, that's nothing that pisses me off, too, about these parents when they be sitting there making these children go on these little acting TV shows and shit. You guys know, right, when you do shit like that, you kind of fuck up their personality because they're not fully developing as a person or developing with their own freaking personality, you feel me? Like, they're not, like, if y'all get what the fuck I'm saying. Like, they're not, like, developing properly with their own personality because they're used to playing all these other dumbass characters and shit like that. It kind of fucks up who the fuck they want to be. You feel me? Because on top of that, you also got society, and society is just as toxic and ignorant as all these other motherfuckers that be in these damn high political or business positions and shit. You feel me? But yeah, that's all I gotta say, man. Like, yeah, this is kind of crazy. I'm not surprised. It's just kind of wild as fuck to me. But yeah, that's all I gotta say, man. I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.